New merch alert. New merch. New merch alert. New merch alert. What's this? What's this? What's this?
This is called what?
Super high quality, screen printed. You know what it is. You know what it is. I look weird when I say it like this. Well, last week I released an EP. Very stoked on that. Hope everyone's been liking it. Definitely has been opening a lot of new and cool opportunities for me. So for this song from myself, it's kind of a lot of like everything that I like in music. There's like the emo guitar stuff, there's a lot of experimental electronic stuff, there's a lot of jungle, there's some trap stuff. It's definitely a cool one. And there's a lot of really interesting things I did in the production. So I figured I would go over it a little bit. The song was originally supposed to be a remix of this other track called 6 AM that sounds like this. Young Mooski, the guy who made it, hit me up saying, hey, do you want to remix it? It's kind of going viral right now. You do a lot of internet stuff. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. And I ended up making this whole song from myself from it. And then like, I loved it so much. And the song was just like, not anywhere near an actual remix. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna, not use that sample. So I tried to make it myself. And this is what I ended up with. Yeah, pretty close, whatever. So that's how the song starts off. After a little bit, there's all these weird, like, glitchy sounds. And a lot of it is just sampling other songs. So here's this, like, bass house song. And I thought there were really cool moments in it. And I just ended up like taking a little chop and putting them back and forth. And then I put a bunch of distortion and other filters on it. And that's what all of these sounds are actually. Camellia's Burning Aquamarine. And I just took a little chop of it. Just kind of chopped it like that. And I was doing this all like not in time, not on the grid. Pretty sure that's technically copyright infringement. So please don't sue me. I guess the samples are like so small and distorted that maybe it doesn't matter too much. I don't know. So this is 2 guitar parts playing left and right. Here's one of them without any processing. And I added some EQ. Heavy compression, 12 decibels gain reduction. OTT at like 36%. And a formant filter that's shifted up a lot. So that's the 2 guitar parts, left and right. We put that in its own little like guitar bus, and then we add a little bit more OTT and formant shifting on top of that. So for one of these like longer sounds, I took a little beep of a note and I stretched it out really long. And I did that on like a left and a right. Somehow made this crazy sound, and I use that kind of as a little atmospheric layer. So for the next part, I bring in that sample that I remade again. And I have like a little glitchy rhythm with it. This breakbeat from Shamed that I chopped up. A bit crusher and a bandpass on it. I also added a real bass guitar and some 808s. You're not supposed to have 2 basses at the same time, but I didn't really care. You also hear these little like Foley textural sounds in this section. And I was super lazy and just found some samples and just dropped them in. Okay, in these two measures, there's kind of a lot. There's this big hit. By the way, all these clips look kind of weird because they're like frozen. So I don't want to unfreeze them because I'm afraid my computer will explode. This is the reverb tail of me yelling, and I put distortion on it. Guitar stutter. Another guitar stutter on the right. So that much together. And then I have an 808. And then this is a sample of someone's phone when they're inside a car that has huge subs and the phone audio is distorting, and I ripped it from YouTube. You got to let me through. You got to let me. So all those together with that original sample I made, and that's all sidechained to a kick drum. There's a little Umer snare that doinks afterwards. So Reaper has this plugin called Refer, and basically it tries to analyze a sound and then reverse the polarity or the EQ of it or something. It's originally for like echo cancellation, like if you have like noise in the background, it can try and take a sample of noise and like invert it or something. But you can just do that on any sound and you get this sound. So again, I took that original sample from Mooski that I made, and I like built this profile. Watch, you can see me do it live actually. You can hear it really quick, it like snapped into this weird underwater sound, but if you do it too much, it cancels it out altogether. So I just refresh it, and I do it for like a quick second. So I turned it on and off that quick, and it like sort of builds this profile, and it just has this crazy sound to it. So I put a bunch of compression and then a filter on it. And I know you can just do this with other plugins like Digitalis or whatever, but I just wanted to do like my own weird sound to it. Crazy 808. I really like to layer snares too, and it's mostly just because I can never find the right snare, so I just keep putting a bunch together until it sounds right. So for this section, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 snares, and them all together. So this big part, I'm gonna mute 2 of these tracks that have a lot of crazy stuff on it. We're gonna talk about like the main meat of it. So we have the kick, and we have this big kind of hit sound that is a Reese that's down tuned way low, the Death Fan from Boston, a little Evil Throat sound from Boston as well. So those together, and then let me know if you guys recognize this sound. That is the bass I made for Face to Face with Death. And I just resampled it and put it in here. And that's all being sidechained to the kick. This glitch sound is again from the original sample of the song, and I just did like a 16th note glitch thing. Weird little sound fill right here. It's a sound I made a long time ago. I don't remember how I made it, and I just throw it in every once in a while. Bring in a riser, which is actually a cymatic sample. And it's like an ambient thing, and the pitch is just being automated up. And basically every measure or so, I add in another weird sound. This is that same thing I did in the beginning of the song, where it's like a sample of that bass house song, and I just chopped it up weird and got these like weird rhythms with it. There's some other weird little sounds that, again, just sounds that I've made or from Oversampled. If you know him, he has a free glitch pack. And just kind of threw them in wherever. Got this neuro bass. This is from Boston again. And I'm just like sampling it, chopping it. How do I even explain how I made this sound? So if I take this original sample that I made from the beginning of the video, I put it in a sampler. I can hold out just a really long MIDI note. As long as it's looping, it's just going to take however long your start and end point is. So you can see if I just change the end point to quicker and quicker, I can record myself doing that. Then I can take a little chunk of that and pitch it up, duplicate it, pitch it up again, pitch it up again, pitch it up again, pitch it up again. And with each clip, I'm doing that thing I did earlier where each clip is getting a little bit smaller, and I also pitched it up by one tone. I also put a little LFO on it to make it do like left-right panning. Music. You'll also hear this like really messed up rhythm in the middle of this weird calamity right here. It almost sounds like completely out of time and like it doesn't really work. And that's kind of the point, but they're actually quarter note triplets. So if I put on a quarter note triplet grid, it's just wacky, you know? And then the last sound I have on here is there's some fireworks. This is just like ripped from some YouTube video, and I put a bunch of delay and a pitch shifter on it, as well as a Haas effect to make it stereo. So there's just a whole bunch of whatever going on. I completely like threw away any sort of mixing, proper arrangement, or anything that I've ever learned, and I just wanted as much distortion and calamity, just weird stuff going on for all of this. You can see right here, I just recorded the song, like a piece of the song. And I did that same thing where I take a clip and I duplicate, make shorter, duplicate, make shorter, duplicate, make shorter, duplicate, make shorter. And if you do that enough, it's gonna get super, super, super duper small. And sometimes when it gets really small, I'll do like a bunch. I'll do just one more. And you'll get this sort of sound. You hear that like weird sample rate thing. I don't know what that's called. And then everything cuts out and we hear that weird stretched sample from the beginning. And the drums and guitar. Carries on almost to the end, and we just take out the guitar and leave the drums, bass, and the stretched out sample. Okay, so right in the beginning of this crazy section, there's these two tracks that I muted. I took a sample of my voice, put it on like basically a trigger, and just recorded myself like spamming the trigger. And then I added delay, and you can see this blue line here is the delay automation, and we could watch it go by. If you've ever played with like guitar pedals, or I mean just VST, delay VSTs, you'll notice that when you change the rate of the delay, it like makes all these crazy sounds. Like, that's not the purpose of it, but it is something that happens from the VSTs. The last part of the song where it slows down. So in Reaper, this is really easy to do because there's a playback rate automation. You can see it right here, this stair step automation. So let's say I wanted it to go faster instead. Or like super duper slow. Why am I saying super duper? That's not a word I use in every day. And the arrangement is a little bit different in here. I have that Toad 808, whatever it's called. I have the samples from the beginning again. I have my guitar. A little hi-hat. And I also have this little boop. Obviously here everything just kind of like cuts out on the snare, and because I'm just using all samples and audio, you can see I just cut out any audio during the snare. You know, I've definitely heard like the slow down thing at the end, but have you ever heard 2 in a row? I don't know, bro. Okay, so for the vocals. Lights fall and I'm standing afraid. I'm finding it hard just to take it away. I'm half dead, but I'm begging to stay. I'm gonna turn off all the processing and let's hear just my raw vocal take. Lights fall and I'm standing afraid. I'm finding it hard just to... So I have a lot of auto-tune. I'm using virtual mix rack, and there's these 2 compressors that I use at the same time. For me, when it comes to compression or just vocal processing in general, all I do is I'm just thinking about the gain reduction, because that's what compression really is at the end of the day. I'm going for like a really crushed, a really processed, really compressed, really pop in your face sound. And to do that, you need a lot of compression. So each of these compressors, the red one and the gray one, are both doing 5 decibels of gain reduction. So all I'm looking at is this little arrow thing. Lights fall and I'm standing afraid. And you can see that this one's doing about 5 to 7 decibels, and also this gray one and I'm standing is doing afraid. 5 to 7. Let's see what it sounds like without compression. Lights fall and I'm standing afraid. I'm finding it hard just to take it away. You can hear there, I'm not being super dynamic in this part, but you can hear there's like some words popping in and out. So the compression just smooths that. Lights fall and I'm standing afraid. So because that's in a vocal bus, the vocal bus has some processing on it as well. Lights fall. There's extra compression, another low cut, a de-esser, another low cut, and a little high shelf. I don't really put reverb or delay on any of my vocals. I really like a dry vocal. But there is a little bit of a delay throw. So you can see this red line right here is the delay automation, so it'll only come in at certain points. Just to take it away. So right here. I'm half dead, but I'm begging to stay. You can see it's not just like a normal delay. The delay has some effects on it as well. So I put a formant shifter, distortion, and then a bandpass on the actual delay track, just to really, again, like differentiate it from the proper vocal track down the middle, and giving it like a different part of the audio spectrum to live on, because we really want those vocals to be like fat right in your face. So when it comes to the layering, I almost always do 1 vocal down the middle and then 2 falsettos that are just double tracked left and right. So here's the falsettos. Lights fall and I'm standing afraid. Same vocal processing. Just to take it away. And the reason I do that is basically just for the breathiness of it. Like when I'm singing, probably not like technically correct or anything, but I'm making sure that I'm being very breathy with it, because I just want like that air in the vocal. And instead of just like boosting a bunch of EQ to make it airy, I'm actually just gonna sing another take of it being very like falsetto and airy, and it gives it that airy sound. Lights fall and I'm standing afraid. I'm finding it hard just to take it away. I'm half dead, but I'm begging to stay. Next part is a little bit more layered.
Are giving me straight. I'm sinking farther into me. It's not your fault. I got
and all these harmonies are a double track left and right.
Feels like I'm running from myself.
See on that vocal, say I take just a clip of it, I duplicate it maybe 4 times, and if I select all of them and move it back a little bit, that's how you can like get the vocal to properly glitch, I guess you could say. These vocals are also edited really tight, so after I recorded all of them, I made sure all the syllables were like matched up, and they all start right together, they all end right together.
Look through the mirror from a time I had. I saw it move, I'm begging me for help. I run away.
At this crazy, weird, crazy part of the song, I do put a format shifter on the entire track.
Feels like I'm running from myself.
It's not right here. I'm just literally recording myself like... I ran out of space on my memory card, but I'm basically done. Thanks for watching that. I feel like these videos are super boring. I haven't made one like it in a while. I've been doing these like quippier, like funner videos that are way easier to record and people like them more, I think. So let me know if you dig this, if I should keep doing it. I definitely like talking about how I make music. It's just really dense. Grab some merch, listen to the music, stream the EP. I really appreciate it. Planning on playing a lot of shows next year, maybe even going on tour. Comment below where you want me to go to tour, please. Like and subscribe if you want to like and subscribe to me. I really appreciate that. And have a great day. I will see you next time. Bye.
Lights fall and I'm standing afraid. I'm finding it hard just to take it away.